Hello, this is Vivian, and I thought I'd share what's happening in my day since I have a 15-minute wait before Costco's opens and I can do some shopping before I do some more shopping. But since I was going to be in this area, I decided to go to Home Depot. Normally I go to Lowe's. Lowe's is easier access for us. But Home Depot has Coroplast. This is a 4-foot by 8-foot sheet. It's a thinner thickness, so it bends. So this is almost teardrop. I've got the two ends, the 4-foot ends together at the bottom. I should have put the seats down and try to let it go toward the back, but it's not 4 feet wide toward the rear of this car. It's a Kia Soul. But while I was at Home Depot, I couldn't resist but check out what they had in their gardening section, and I looked at the trees, and they had two Fuyu persimmons. These are the kind that are kind of squished. They're not the kind that my mom has. She didn't have these. She had the peach-shaped ones that you have to wait till they get soft to eat. These you can still eat when they're crunchy. I like the flavor of this better. And there's one on a limb here somewhere. Oh, there it is. We'll see if it survives, but normally these were 40 bucks each, but they were 50% off, so I got two. Spent $43 there. The Coroplast sheet was 15 something, a little under 16, but it was $17 even after taxes here. And I hope to get some more of these, but I'm going to be using that for chicken coop. And these are going to go up in the upper area into the orchard. And they're self-pollinators, but I went ahead, if they had more I would have gotten more, but this is all they had. The rest were apples and pears and peaches, and I wasn't interested in those. So besides all the tree projects, I thought I'd just do a kind of update on life and happenings and future projects. Of course, the Coroplast is part of the future projects, and the orchard's going to be an ongoing thing, and a food forest. I was able to sell some trees, and we had my husband and I had an outing of sorts because we had to deliver it to about 100 miles away. And I love this car. On a full tank, I filled up the tank the night before, was able to load 18 trees, bushes into the back seat and back area of this car, and deliver. Two deliveries. We included one to another place on the way, so we met up with somebody there, and then had plenty of time from there to get to the delivery of the 16 trees. And then we had to spend a day out in Charleston. I thought that was kind of fun. That was very fun. But things have been rough, and a lot of adjusting. My mother passed away the day after Mother's Day, and the week before Mother's Day, the Monday before, she went into hospice. So, you know, and I wasn't able to see her. It upset us and my sisters because we just weren't able to go, because by that point our mother was not lucid. She didn't know. She wasn't responding. She was dying. And I'm glad I got to say goodbye when she left to go to New York with my brother. I guess 3 weeks prior, or thereabouts. It was kind of happened in a rush. I was going to take her to Florida, and my brother came down from New York and convinced her to go with him. And when she left, I hugged her and let her know I loved her and I was going to miss her. And I got to talk to her a couple of times. But being on death watch, waiting, waiting for the phone to ring to let us know that she's passed, I just couldn't go to church Mother's Day weekend. Mother's Day Sunday, I just could not go. And the following day, we got the phone call. And then we had the funeral. That's the following Saturday. It kind of happened fast. The hardest part was getting my brother's family down from New York, just like it was hard for us to get up there. And even, even flying in, if we'd gone up there, it's the logistics of getting from there, from the airport to my brother's house on Long Island, and, getting the logistics of that. And then it was just, it was bad. Could have been done, but at that point it was, I mean, I'm of the mind, if you want to visit me while I'm there, mentally at least. If you wait until I'm not there mentally, what point? That's just heartbreaking. I'd already grieved my mom twice when we thought she had a stroke. We thought dementia, and we thought that we'd lost her. There were 2 incidences that happened 3 years ago and then last year. In fact, when I brought her home, I was expecting, basically, I brought her home in October, and she was not, mentally, she didn't know where she was. She had to be reminded what was going on. She was asking about Dad. Has he eaten? And he's been dead for 6 years. All I was trying to do is keep her comfortable and as much in peace as possible. Just letting her know, don't worry about Dad. He's not missing any meals. You know him. He's not going hungry. He's taken care of. Don't worry about him. We got to take care of you. Worry about yourself. And when she came to herself, we were all amazed, because the doctors basically sent her home to die. And I was expecting her not to make it to Christmas. And through Thanksgiving, she was herself. We were amazed when on her birthday on December 3rd, she was very much herself. So, getting hot in the car. Yeah, a lot of other people getting here early. So we were amazed that she made it through this year. We were told that she wouldn't make it to Christmas, so we were just astonished. She did not look like she was ill. Her appetite was off, her strength. She was still in a lot of pain. That was the biggest thing. For the last 10 years or more, she's been in a lot of pain, and managing her pain was top priority. And managing that pain is what got her into the kidney disease, because she was on naproxen for years, and the doctors tried to get her off, but she refused. And she has severe arthritis. And I think it's hereditary, but knowing what I know about my own health, I didn't want to go the route she went. And I know the triggers, what triggers arthritis, arthritis-like symptoms, inflammation. And if you look up anti-inflammatory diets and figure out what's triggering yours, you may have a lot of relief without taking the medications that have side effects that are just as deadly as the disease, or if not more so. Arthritis is not going to kill you, it's going to hurt you, but the medications destroyed her kidneys. And until her kidneys got so bad that she had to get off of it, did she even try other pain meds. So we were playing with different pain meds to manage her pain, and then they also had side effects that were also unpleasant, not as dangerous, but still very unpleasant and bad. But she didn't look like she was in renal failure, that her kidney functions were so low, and yet she wasn't swollen. In fact, normally her ankles would swell up, her legs would swell up when she was living by herself. But every time she stayed with us, I don't know if it was the well water or that she was waited on more, but her legs didn't swell up at all. The entire time she was with me, they were just amazed. She came home swollen, it went down, she was having physical therapy. The therapists were amazed at the progress she was making, because they were expecting me to call hospice any day. You know, they were just waiting for that phone call to say no more therapy. And she completed all her therapies until, you know, she did the required, what Medicaid paid for. So this whole grieving process, I've been, during the death watch, I was crocheting. I had to keep busy. I had to, because there was nothing I could do beyond prayer. And then when she passed, all I could do was pray for safe travels for all the people coming in from out of town, out of state. And it was just family. We had a small service, and some people were upset with us because it just, that's what she wanted. Sorry. It was her kids, grandkids, and a couple of friends that she was friends with for over 40 years. That was it. Graveside service. And it was beautiful. It was nicely done. It was comforting. And then we got to spend time, the siblings, me and my siblings, got to spend time together. So it all worked out. But here I am now, adjusting to the new phase in my life. I don't have a better way. Grieving is a process that I'm not really accustomed to. It's I've not had a lot of deaths. I've had a lot of other tragedies, other traumas, whatever you want to call it. I've not had a perfect life, but I've not had a lot of deaths of people close to me, family members. They were always distant relatives, or even when my grandparents passed away, I wasn't close to my father's parents. So it wasn't okay, they died. It's like, it had no impact on my life. And when my dad passed away, I was just relieved because I swear he was trying to kill Mom while he was trying to take her down before he died. I know that sounds awful and weird, but that's what I was seeing, because she was recovering from open heart surgery, and he was dying from lung cancer, and he was running her ragged. So I was just relieved that he didn't manage to kill her while he was dying himself. So it was just a relief when he passed that, okay, that part's done. But he wasn't really involved in our lives toward the end, or much at all, even though he was there, his generation, whatever. But it's just, it didn't bother me. That same year that my father passed, I had a YouTube friend pass away, Kaysen Hunter, and her channel's still on YouTube, and she and I had gotten really close, and it just tore, to this day I still grieve her loss. And it felt odd to be grieving someone I never met in person more than I was grieving my own father. And there was guilt too, because I felt bad. I mean, what kind of person am I? But grief is, you know, emotions are not logical. No matter how hard, you know, we try to understand or justify, or it just isn't logical. And now I'm going through this for so many years. It was always, you know, I was with my mom at least once a week, taking her to appointments, taking her shopping, taking her out to eat, just to visit her, just to check on her visually. And then for the last several months, 6-7 months, she was with us. She lived at home. She was, I was you know, roles had reversed, and now she's gone. And I've been just staying busy because that's what I do. So I finished my Costco trip, and now I'm at my favorite auction house. And I got this cabinet for $2. Plastic door fronts, but the rest of it's plywood, which is surprising. Sturdy but light. Kick plate I was going to remove anyway, but that's where only damage I could find. Along with the kerosene can and these little things. And each of them were $2. $7 total after taxes and everything. $7.06. That's a major landmark here, that ice cream cone. And you know, life goes on. And the grieving process goes on. And adjusting, changes. You know, only thing you can depend on are changes. Nothing stays the same. Only thing I can control is my behavior. You know, I can't even control my emotions, but I can control how I respond with those emotions. Sometimes denying them is not the best way to go. That's not what I'm saying. But acknowledging them and finding a healthy outlet. Like I said, I've been staying busy. I got a lot of projects coming up. The 2-year deadline, I promised my husband I wouldn't do any remodeling or anything major to our new home for at least 2 years. And in September, that deadline ends. And I bought some cabinets, I bought some things way cheaper than I can buy lumber and do it myself. Still gonna have to do some things myself. But I've got some ideas on what I want to do, and I'm getting some things together. I like my kitchen pretty much the way it is. I don't like the sink, so that has to be replaced, and I already got that at the auction. But it's black, but it's huge, and it should fit. May have to cut the sinkhole a little bit, but it's a normal sink at least, not a laundry sink this time. I plan on painting the cabinets. I don't like that wood color, the stain. And I like white kitchens. I already got the refrigerator moved since my husband's moved his office. I need to redo the spare room, the room that my mother was using. It's going back to being a craft room and a guest room for when we have company. So things are happening. Things are going to keep happening. And just, you know, pray for me if you're the praying kind. Just you know, getting through all of this. Yeah. And I've got some, I've been making baby Afghans. Here's some pictures. I'll make a video of them in a little bit, and some other stuff I was doing, something separate. But a lot of crafts. I need to catch up on my scrapbooking. I need to catch up on the garden. A lot of changes there. I've planted more trees. Things with the chickens. Now with the chloroplast, I can go on with the next stage of what I wanted to do with that. But I gotta get back into the garage and woodwork and cut down some of the 2x4s into 2x2s. What else? All sorts of stuff. Some things I want to do for the garden, as far as for my comfort. Not necessarily garden, but something to make a shelter over one of the benches. Just things. Staying busy. Thanks for watching.